Hey folks, it is the Nutty Knife Guy. I apologize for any background noise. I'm not the only one here. Today will be the inauguration of the first use, the coronation, the introduction of the Warpost 2.0. And we will see that. It will face the Gerber Hall assisted opening knife. This has not been to the Warpost yet. I have been carrying it on and off for about 2 or 3 weeks. And I really like it. This is another one that I hope really does well against the new Warpost. Just first impressions, I already ran through this on a midweek video. Really good ergonomics on the handle, feels great. The handle is actually a little longer than the blade, which makes it very controllable. This is a really good EDC knife if it survives the Warpost. It's just the right size to do just about anything with. You can skin small game, you can probably skin a medium-sized game with it. It's got the right blade shape and ergonomics for light camp details, feather sticking, things like that. And of course the everyday knife stuff, opening pockets, opening packages, and all that good stuff. Got the camera a little further away, so I'll hold this up so you can get a good look at it. Run down the specs here. Overall length is 7.9 inches. Blade length is 3.10 inches. So 3 1/10 inch long. You could probably get away with that in most states. Stainless steel. It doesn't say the type of stainless steel, but I think I remember seeing somewhere else 440C or 420, but probably a 440 something. Drop point blade, flat grind. It comes in a lot of different colors. I got the FDE because this was one that was on clearance at Royal King. And I'm usually not a fan of FDE, but this doesn't look too bad. Weight is 4.9 ounces. Clip is only doable for right-handed tip-up carry, but tip-up is okay for the system, for the assisted opening. Thumb stud, and made in China. Now, I have a shirt pocket for my phone here, so I'm going to tuck that in here. Two things that I'll nitpick about this is, and I mentioned this when I just did a first impression, the thumb studs are like really smooth, and with this knife you have to remember to get your thumbs really behind that stud to open. Now this Gerber fast action, I don't know, I forget what the FAST stands for, it's an acronym, but it is a nice snappy action. It's not like really quick snappy, but it comes open with some authority. It is a button lock, which so far has held up. I have done the wrap test with it, and I will do that wrap test for you in a moment. It is easy. This system is easy to close and open one hand. The balance and ease of manipulation is there. Like I said, I'm very impressed with this knife. If it fails the Warpost, I'll kind of be upset. And my luck is hopefully starting to change about folders. So there's that. Nice wide, deep carry pocket tip. I am finding that I really prefer wide pocket clips. They don't seem to tear up pockets as much, and they seem to come out easier for me. We'll do the lockup test here real quick. So I'm as confident in a lock as I can be in a folding knife. I'm going to go get my gloves and we will do the drop test and the stabby test and then head out to the war post. There's going to be a little dead air when I go fetch my gloves. And here we go. Shouldn't have let them across the room. Thrilled to the excitement as the Nutty Knife Guy puts on his gloves. I'm actually, these are FXE, FX3 Wells Lamont gloves. Kind of like general work gloves. I'm going to get a couple more pairs of these. I really like these. I'm going to have some for this winter, and I'm going to put a few pairs of these in my go bags, or bug out bags, or get home bags, whatever you want to call the bags, that has a whole bunch of stuff in them that you hope you never have to use. Okay. Let me adjust the camera so you can see what's being done. It wants not to cooperate. There we go. Okay. We'll do the drop. I think I clutched that a little bit. I mean, it's dropping fairly straight. Like I said, this is not a flat surface. Let's see if I can get a really nice straight drop. He said that fails to lock altogether. I mean, fails to stick all together. Okay, there's nice. Drop it straight, it can be straight. Now I'm getting it. Okay. Now the stabby stab test. This is getting on camera, is it? Not if I'm standing in front of it, it's not. Okay, in case I was blocking the view of the drops, we'll do a couple of more of those. Okay, drop it straight, it flies straight, so balance is pretty good. And also, just to show you, when it comes to ease of manipulation, with gloves on, closing it one-handed was actually quite nice. That's where the button locks are better than the liner locks, I think. Okay. War post time. Okay, folks, here is the War Post 2.0 in all its glory. Actual real hardware holding it up here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see it now when I tilt that up. I guess I better see if I can adjust this. There we go. It's so pretty and pristine. Now I have to murder it. So here we go, the War Post and the Gerber Haul. Let's see how it does against its enemy water jug. Okay. Now all the water's spilled out of it, so there was nothing to push against on that. I got nice and wet though. Okay. This, I have not sharpened it, and I think this is testimony to its sharpness. Single cut. That's actually when I do it right. And now this is a longer bore post, so hopefully I'll remember to come in at lower angles. But we'll see. Okay, now she moves a little bit more because she's longer and therefore heavier and gets more of a swing, and on this pivot she's a bit more unpredictable, but that's a good thing. And these gloves did pay off because this thing came against my knuckle a couple of times. I'm gonna just move this closer real quick. And I want to show you the marks, if it'll show up. I don't know what it is. I can't really see on this screen in the sun. But I want you to look how narrow these marks are here and here, where I hit them with the blade, just to show you how sharp this thing came. Okay, we're going to do a couple of hard whacks with this thing. This post is much harder than the other one. Now that's a different angle than I normally use. And I'll show you. And focus here. I am seeing absolutely no edge damage. The coating, which has been a problem with me in earlier Gerbers, is not a problem at all here. Now I actually have a new stick for the fine work and making vampire deterrents, but I don't know if I'm going to go through a whole vampire deterrent on this one, but we'll see what happens. But let's see how she might feather stick first. The grind is kind of a thick, a steep grind. Once you get the angle though, it does pretty well. And this is with gloves on, so fine work's a little bit more difficult, but you can definitely make this work. The grind angle is makes this a little bit more difficult, but it's a general purpose knife, so it's not going to excel at any one thing. Okay, now let's see if I can do a vampire deterrent. This is hardwood. This is, I believe, Rose of Sharon. And it's hard, and it's also kind of springy at the same time. And this is more of a briar than it is a tree branch, so this would actually probably take a little time to shave down to anything pointy, but we'll see. I'll give it a little more work. And maybe if I get used to the angle on this blade, I might prove myself wrong. Yeah. Actually, that's not a bad vampire deterrent. And we will save this stick. Okay. We'll go down and cut some paper with it and see how the sharpness hung up. And also, for a folder, this is a fairly thick blade. And again, with the gloves, it's still pretty easy to close with one hand. But I do declare that it has passed the war post. Okay. So, the Gerber haul, so far, has done well. And now we will thrill as you watch the nutty knife guy take off his gloves. But seriously, I think I paid about 15 bucks for these. Again, FX3 wells in a lot. And these are the best fitting, most dexterous gloves I think I've ever had. Another contribution by Roll King. Okay. I'll go get the water bottle and show you that again in a minute, because that was actually pretty impressive. But let's see after the carving in the water bottle and the war post how the sharpness is. And that was my fault there. And again, I got the angle wrong. There we go. So, can't complain there. Now, one whack, when I get the body mechanics right and actually do the slash correctly, that was one cut all the way through and clean for what is essentially a 3-inch blade. So, I mean 3.1 inches, call it 3 inches. And I have to say, this is going to be one of those ones that's in my EDC rotation that I am going to, it's going to be, ooh, I get to carry the haul today, type thing. I'm really digging this thing. And again, it's not threatening. You might even call this kind of a redneck gentleman's folder. It doesn't have that tactical look. The blade is long enough. If you are confronted with a horde of hostile lizardmen, zombie ninjas, it will go between ribs and disrupt vital organs. But the blade shape is congruent with camping, a light trail knife, light camp knife, and the ergonomics are just outstanding. Other than the smooth flippers, my one, not a black mark, but my one minor complaint about this is it has secondary safety to keep it from opening in your pocket than anything else. And I've never been a fan of that kind of thing. This one is better than most. Because it's out of the way. Up here, it's almost impossible to hit this accidentally. Now on the Gerber F.A.S.T draw that I bought the same day I bought this one, it's got a sliding safety over here. And it's kind of maddening when you go to, because I don't like to use it, But I have been noticing it's been going on by accident, and I'm trying to open the knife up with one hand, and I have to fumble with that stupid safety, and it's annoying. I'm not going to say a black mark or a minus against the knife, but in my judgment, if the knife is well made to begin with, you don't need the extra safety. And it's just one more thing to think about, and another moving piece that can break. That's my 2 cents on that. But other than that, I'll get used to the thumb stud. Really nice, easy to open and close. Nice, snappy assisted opener. I think I paid $34 for this on clearance at Roll King. I just looked on Amazon, and I think it was listed for $35, and worth every penny. I believe when it was first retailed, I saw it somewhere where it was like $49. Still worth every penny. It has passed the War Post, and it has my seal of approval. The Gerber Haul assisted opening knife. And I must leave you now with my usual admonishment to draw your knives only in justice purpose, to sheathe them only with honor. And to remember that without knives, life would be dull and pointless. I must ask you to please like, share, and subscribe. That really helps me. It makes me happy. And it feeds the YouTube algorithm. All hail the algorithm. And I believe it was my viewer Tacticool who requested that I war post the haul. Promise kept. And with that, I bid you goodbye.